Well, hey everybody. I wanted to catch up on a few things with you guys, tell you what's going on in the garden and what I'm doing, different areas of the garden. And I did want to tell you that I have been a little bit ill, which happens with my illness. I'm laid up a lot of the winter time. Usually it's just, what that means is just being in a lot of pain and being in bed, not being able to do much of anything in the house or outside the house. And that goes with the territory. I know that because this is my 7th year of having this. And so after 7 years, I'm pretty used to it by now. I just thought that I would be able to put out, I wanted to put out like a video a week, but I'm going to have to realize now that after I've had this channel, I guess it's been since October, and putting out a video a week isn't going to happen through the winter time. So it's going to be maybe a video every 2 weeks or maybe a video every month. Now, I have purchased a new wireless mic or a wireless mic system. I had gotten a cheaper one the first time and I sent it back because it just didn't work at all. This system is working, and it came with an omnidirectional mic, and I knew that that would be picking up all the sounds in the area. So along with that, I also got a unidirectional mic, which should just be picking up my voice. Now, when I first tried it out, I was so excited about it, thinking that, you guys could hear me out here, I could be talking to you, and it'd just be picking up my voice. But no matter what I do, it seems to be picking up all the ambient sound, everything that goes on. So first of all, before sending the system back, I'm going to try a new unidirectional microphone. And if that doesn't work, then I'll just send everything back and just go with what I used to do and not have a mic at all. It is a little inconvenient for me because when I come out to make a video, I'm doing everything by myself. So I'm setting up the camera, I'm doing the editing, and there's a lot of editing with me. I'm just doing it all by myself, so now this is just having something extra added on. And on top of that, if it's not going to work, I don't want to have it. And I don't have the finances, being disabled, I don't have the finances to spend $500 to $1,000 on some kind of great system. So enough of that. I wanted to get back to my last video. I was going to cut my 8-foot hoop house in two and make 2 4-foot sections. And I did that. I did that last week, and I did videotape the whole thing. It was just so much tape, or excuse me, that's talking like back in the 50s. It was just so much video that I would have to edit together. It was crazy. So I decided just to show you what I did. And if you want to make a super simple hoop house, and it's not in the shape of a hoop, I'm just calling it a hoop house, it's just a triangle, I will show you how that went together. So what I did, I took all the plastic off, I took the hinges off the back because it is on hinges, and I cut it in two, and then I had to cut off a little bit of extra PVC pipe for the new connectors that were going on, because they do take up some space. And just to show you, I put a little tiny hoop house together the way that I had put this together. The corner is just 3 pieces. We have a 3-way connector, and what I used was 3/4 inch Schedule 40 pipe, so that's the thickest pipe. All it takes is the 3-way connector on the corner, an 1.5 inch piece of PVC pipe, and you can buy these little pieces of PVC pipe, but there's no reason why you need to. When you're going to have leftover pieces anyway, you can cut that little 1 and 3/4 section just off of a scrap piece of PVC pipe that you'll have. And then it takes an angle piece, and I can give you all those SKUs off of there. All these connectors came from Lowe's. So it just takes an angle piece. So those are 3 pieces on the bottom side. And then at the top, up here, it just takes one more 3-way piece. So up at the top, you're going to have another 3-way. And, of course, these aren't all the right length. I just kind of popped these together. So what you'll have is 3 pieces in the corner, one piece up on the top, and then your two PVC pipe sections will come up and come together and go into this section, or this connector. And then you'll have the piece that comes across the top, which is up here. So that's just more or less kind of thrown together a little tiny hoop house just to show you how the connectors go. Now I noticed that these three-way connectors at Lowe's were about $1.60 a piece, but I found them cheaper other places. They didn't have them at Home Depot at all, or they didn't have them at my Home Depot in the 3/4 inch. And what you need to buy is 6 of these three-ways, 4 of the angles, and then, like I said, this little piece that connects the corner together, you can just cut yourself out of a piece of PVC pipe. So depending on whether you want to put something like this together, like I said, very simple, I can put down below everything that I use to make, say, 1 4-foot section. I'll just list all the different pieces that you will need. On the back, for the hinges, what I used was electrical conduit brackets. Now I used both kinds, which, let me get up and show you. I used 1-inch electrical conduit brackets, and I bought, first of all, I bought the kind that only has a bracket on one side, and then the next time I bought it with the both sides. What I did was I just straightened these out so that they would come all the way down, and what they did was a PVC pipe goes through here, and then these 2 sections that I bent down just get screwed to the edges of the box. Other than that, all you would need is the plastic, which I bought a package of 4 mil clear, and I didn't use that. I'm going to use it on my next box. Someone had given me this plastic, and it's really thick. It's opaque, which you can tell that you can't see through it. And I think this is 6 mil thick. It's very thick, and the tape hardly stuck to it at all. I'm not sure why. Nothing was wet at the time, but the tape just, I really had a hard time sticking the tape to it, and it was duct tape. It was not your cheapo tape. So that's one thing you'll have to do, is make sure that your tape sticks really well to the plastic. Cutting the plastic, you can use a hacksaw. You can use a PVC pipe cutter, which is just like a pair of pruning shears, except they have a ratchet motion to where as you clamp it down, it takes another bite, and it makes it really easy to go through PVC plastic. And what I used, which I have always used on PVC pipe because it's so easy for me, is a jigsaw. I just use a jigsaw with a really strong, fine-tooth blade, strong so that it wouldn't bend as I went through the PVC pipe, and the small teeth so that it wouldn't, have that motion of just really jumping through the pipe. The jigsaw just flies right through the PVC pipe, and I have no trouble with that. The other thing that I made was, when it starts getting warmer, and I think it's maybe too warm in the house during the day, I just made a little 1x4 board with a square cut out of one side and a little circle cut out of the other for the PVC pipe. And this is just meant to vent my box when I think it's too warm inside. So I just stick it on there, and that just vents the box. So to make it easier to open up the hoop house, I did put a couple of little screw eyes, one in the pipe, one in the box, and I put some nylon twine on it with a little handle, and I just lift this up, push it to the back, and it just stays there, and I can harvest my lettuce or kale, spinach, whatever I have in here. It makes it really easy to just work inside my bed, and then I can just close it up. And then putting on the plastic is kind of self-explanatory. It's more or less like wrapping a Christmas package. You just put the plastic over the top, tape it on these sides, and then on the inside, like I said, like a Christmas package, you can overlap it and tape it together, or you can actually cut it to the exact size, but I overlapped mine just to get that additional coverage so that it's warmer inside. Now, the only thing I would tell you about the strings is to make sure you keep them out of the way, because they really are a tripping hazard if you just come walking out and you catch your foot in the twine. you go flying. So let me show you a couple other things I'm doing outside on nicer days and when I'm feeling good, and then I'll wrap it up. Well, putting down pavers is the other thing that I have started doing, going through all of the beds. Now I wanted to leave 24 inches in between my beds. That was to get the wheelbarrow through, just have enough room to work. And the other thing I had anticipated was being able to use my walker out here. Now, these aren't level, and I haven't really started putting them down in this area yet, but I just wanted to show you. These pavers are going to make a really nice, solid, level, and non-slippery area for me to walk with my walker. When I come out of the house, I'll be able to come down pavers, and this whole section will be paved also. So this will definitely be left for a day when I'm feeling well and I can lift up pavers and move them around. But I just wanted to show you that that was one of the other things that I'm doing in the garden and will be working on when I'm not filming. So let me show you how that works. Now there's not a lot of room, but there's going to be enough room. And what I anticipate is I'm going to get a couple bags of sand and maybe some little pieces of pea gravel. I'll lay that down, I'll put the pavers on it, and then my walker will be able to go through the beds with no problem at all. I'll just be able to go through all the beds. That way I can come out and I can harvest whatever I want on days when I'm not feeling great and I need to use my walker. And I want to make sure I can come out here and pick my kale, my lettuce, my spinach, different things that are growing out here, and have some nice, really fresh salads. That's the other thing that I've been doing on days when I feel really well. Well, that's all that's going on out in the garden, not a whole lot. And there is one other thing I wanted to show you guys, and that would be the final update on my apartment composting. So let me grab that real quick. And what I had told you in a previous video was after about 4 to 6 weeks, I wanted the compost to be totally broken down. And it isn't totally broken down, but it's almost all the way. I also had mentioned that I would put it in a 5-gallon bucket to see how much I had. Well, it's coming to about 3/4 of a 5-gallon bucket. And let me set it up here so you guys can see what it looks like. This is some of the best compost I've ever seen, really. I mean, not patting myself on the back, but this is some really rich, great smelling, just great looking compost. I was thinking about working this around my tomatoes this spring and summer and other vegetables in the garden. And actually what I think I'm going to do with this, just let it continue to break down, but I think I'll use it for compost teas. And, you know, if I just take a handful, you know, just a regular handful, put it in a sock or a little piece of nylon hose and make a compost tea out of it, I think it's going to work for me a whole lot better watering all my vegetables than just digging it around in the dirt. So, and I may do both, I don't know. But this is just some of the best compost I've seen, and I really want to use it in the best way. So I think maybe compost tea is going to be it. I hope you guys did this along with me, or I hope some of you did this along with me, and just to see what you could do living in an apartment or a small home, and just using the things that you have in your house, out of your kitchen, the shredded paper, the coffee grounds, eggshells, everything that we put in it during that video called apartment composting. So this has been a totally aerobic compost. Now you can compost anaerobically, and that's without oxygen, and that's a perfectly fine way to compost. It's just that this particular compost was an aerobic with oxygen composting system, and I just believe that it worked really well, and I'm very happy with it. So get that sit down. So those are the updates for outside, and I hope it wasn't too long, and I'm glad you guys came over today. Sorry about the mic that's not working, but like I said, I'm glad you guys came over, and I will be talking to you soon, I hope. So, bye-bye, you guys.